And a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll allow a couple of minutes to everyone to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started with today's discussion. In the meantime, we'll discuss a few very important points, but I think let's wait for a few seconds to allow everyone to join in because I can see still participants who are joining in. So let's give everyone few seconds once they join in, and then we'll start the discussion on the important points. Right. So I can see now most of the participants have joined. So once again, good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. And I mentioned little while ago that we are going to wait for a couple of minutes to allow everyone to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started. So this is where we are not going to waste your time. We are going to discuss a few important points. The first one is around the discussion that we are going to have today. And what does that mean? So you can imagine, or you can see that this is a webinar format. So unlike a Zoom meeting wherein you can simply unmute yourself and you can ask your question, that option is not available here. So how are you going to interact, or how are you going to ask your question? So for that, there are two options available. The first one is chat, which you can see down below in your navigation. And I can see there's one person or participants who have already messaged in that. So wonderful. That is one. So chat is one, but chat, I will not encourage you to add your questions there because there's a possibility, because there is quite a bit of exchange that happens in the chat, and there's a possibility that your question might get missed out. So that's where it is recommended that you should be adding your question in the Q&A. So down below again, if you look or if you're joining through a smartphone, then in the options menu, you'll find Q&A. It will also have a question mark on top of it. So you can easily identify it that this is for asking questions. So put your questions there. And for general discussion, so if you want to interact with me or with other wonderful business owners and exporters like you who are also joining us here today, so you should use the chat option for that, right? So chat is for discussion. Don't add your question there. Add your question in the Q&A. And I'll keep both the chat and Q&A open on the other panel so that if there's anything that you would, there's anything which I can respond during the session itself, I can do that. And chat can also be used for interacting or networking with other wonderful business owners who are joining us here today. So that if so that you can connect with them and do network with them. God knows, you may be able to find a buyer or supplier in the session itself. All right, so I think this is where I have talked a lot, and this is where we should get started with this session. I can see, I'm just looking at the participants, so I can see there is, I think most of the participants have joined. So this is where we should get started formally with today's session. Once again, good evening and a warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. And before I start the session, or before we start the presentation, I would like to welcome Mr. Mukesh, who is a FIEO official, and he is joining us here today. So welcome, Mukesh ji, to the webinar.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, all of you. Good evening.
Good evening, and thanks for taking out time for this webinar, and thanks for being available. Now, I am going to start sharing my screen and we'll get started with the webinar, but that's where I think I have not introduced myself. So let me introduce myself as well. My name is Adnan. I'm Director Digital Commerce at GlobalLinker. I look into digital commerce, or I head digital commerce here. And in addition to that, I am also a active public speaker. So that's why I conduct a lot of training sessions, webinars, workshops, etc. Because in today's age, there is no shortage of technology. There are ample amount of technology solutions available that can help a business in going digital and growing digital, but unfortunately, many of us or most of us are not aware how to use those solutions. So that's where we try to contribute as much as possible by conducting as many such informational sessions and webinars. And so far, I had the wonderful opportunity of conducting more than 500 such sessions and sharing a little bit of knowledge and information with about 12,000 businesses. So that was a quick introduction about myself. Now I am going to start sharing my screen, and we plan to do this session slightly differently, but because I can imagine that many of you are new to Indian Business Portal, so that's where we will spend a few minutes trying to understand what Indian Business Portal is, what is the objective, and then we'll move on to the main agenda. That is how you are going to enhance or create a visibility in front of international buyers through Indian Business Portal. All right, so let's get started with the screen share. I will minimize this action bar so that it is not obstructing your view. And I have a small presentation, so we will get started with this small presentation. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of slides, so I just have two slides that I will take you through. So, and then we'll go to the live Indian Business Portal and we'll understand everything there. Perfect. So this is where I've started sharing my screen, and I will appreciate if someone from the audience can confirm that you're able to see my screen. You can just type yes in the chat, and I have the chat window open on the other monitor, so I can see that. Yes, thank you, Nitinji, and thank you, everyone. Now, almost everyone is responding, so thank you, all of you, for confirming that you are able to see my screen. Now, firstly, a quick introduction about Indian Business Portal. So, Indian Business Portal is a trade hub for Indian exporters and foreign buyers. So, this is where Indian exporters like you are showcasing their offerings, and international buyers are seeing your offering and doing business with you. And there are different methods or processes available to international buyers when it comes to doing business with Indian exporters on Indian Business Portal, and what are those methods and how they are going to use and how you are going to respond, etc. That is all we are going to discuss in detail. But let's firstly understand more about Indian Business Portal. So I just gave you a little theory explanation about Indian Business Portal, but what are the underlying objectives or what are the challenges that we are trying to solve through Indian Business Portal? So Indian Business Portal has two objectives. One is to create or allow all Indian exporters to create their own digital presence. And the second objective is to present you, or if I have to say it differently, present your offerings in front of international buyers. Now, doing it individually, and this is needless to mention, all of us can understand that there are hundreds and thousands of exporters. Now, if we have to promote the offerings or the products of uh, all of them, it is absolutely possible. But if we bring all of them onto one platform and then platform can be promoted, yes, that is achievable. And that is the other objective, that is to provide you visibility in front of international buyer. Now, when it comes to allowing each and every exporter their own digital presence, this term digital presence is so much exploited that all of us have started to have our own imaginations of this term. So just to help you understand what does this digital presence means, I am going to switch my screen and take you to another browser tab, and I'll just show you very quickly a few examples. So this is an example of a digital presence which is created by this exporter who deals in this heavy machinery which is used for setting up or managing sports installations. So this is their digital presence in form of this B2B website. Now, on the face of it, it may look like online shopping where different categories, different products are listed. But if I quickly show you one of the product pages, so this is where you can see that it is send inquiry, which means if I'm a potential buyer or if I'm someone who's setting up a stadium, let's say in UAE, and I'm looking for this hydroelectric roller, then I can just come here and send them an inquiry that I'm interested to do business with you. And then they can connect back with me, understand my requirement, and then take that discussion to the closure. So that's how you are able to create your own presence. Now, before I take you through the other examples, and I'll show you a few more examples just for the flavor's sake, but this is a very important question that has been asked in few of my previous webinars. And the question is that traditionally, when websites were made, you will have about us, company, our offerings, etc. 4 or 5 pages will be there. Now, why are we making you put all this effort individually uploading each and every product, right? So, for example, this business, they have uploaded literally hundreds of products individually, each one separately. In fact, I was seeing these are like O-rings, ring sets, piston ring sets. That is a very small product, but they have uploaded it individually. Now, why have they done that, or why are we making you do all this effort? The reason is to give you the right visibility. Understand that the search which is happening on the internet, Google search, Bing search, whatever you're using, Yahoo, that is changing. Earlier, if you have some information related to that product offering, you will get visibility, but not anymore. Unless you have that product detailed out as a independent page, you will not get the visibility. And another very critical thing that you should be very, very conscious of is that in very near future, and when I'm saying very near future, it is not many years from now, probably 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months from now, lot of purchases. And when I'm saying purchases, not the exact transaction, but the discovery, the search part will be done by AI agents. Now, if you don't exist, this product does not exist on the internet, you can't be found. Or if this product is not there on your website, you can't be found, right? So that is very crucial, and all of us have to be prepared and have to be prepared in the right way. And that is why having independent products is extremely important. And all of you, whether you're creating it here or you have a separate website, please do ensure that you have independent pages for each product. Now, with this kind of setup, the advantage is it has a better structure. So obviously, it helps with the ranking as well. All right, now coming back to the discussion that we were having. So this was one example I showed you. There's another example from the engineering product, and I'm showing it deliberately because this is quite a question. A lot of people ask for engineering product, how do we show it? So this is, they are not able to visualize it. So this is where you can see this is how beautifully they have displayed it. This is pharma products. This is another hospital supplies related to healthcare only. This is matchsticks. They are manufacturer exporter. This is home decor products. Now here also one very interesting feature I would like to highlight. Now if you look or just pay a little attention here to the Ganeshji's idol, this is where you'll notice that it has two buttons, whereas the adjoining product has one button. So what does that mean? So this is where the platform has this unique feature that you can cater to B2B and B2C audience. So bulk buyers and retail customers, small quantity buyers, both at the same time. How is that happening? So if I'm a bulk buyer, I can use the send inquiry feature and I can send them an inquiry that I'm interested to buy this product X number of quantities. And if I'm a retail customer, I can very conveniently just go here and do an add to cart and place an order. So that feature is also available. There's another example. Let's look at, this is a merchant exporter and they deal in a different spectrum or different types of products, agri products, and then other categories as well. This is a exporter, I believe, into a coffee export, right? So I've shown you a few examples. Now, There are exporters who are not exporting in bulk, but they are exporting in smaller quantities. So retail customers based in different countries, they are buying for their personal consumption. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. This is an example I would want to show you. This is a business which is into natural beauty products, and they are selling it to the overseas customers as well. Now, this were previously in one of my webinars, a participant asked this question that the prices in INR, so how a US or a Europe-based customer is going to see this and place an order. So I'll very quickly demonstrate to you how technology helps here. So I'm going to open a tool called local browsing. It allows you to see how a particular web page appears in a particular country. So I'm going to show you how this same page, which we were seeing earlier, this page appears to someone who is accessing it from US. So this where you can see the currency is automatically changed to USD because we are accessing it from US. So that, those kind of features and capabilities exist on the platform. So if you are wanting to have this kind of a digital presence for catering to retail customers, that is also possible. And I'm not going to take your time with taking you through the other examples. Very quickly, let's go back to the presentation. Now, before we move to the live example, this is where I would want to take 2 minutes of yours and walk you through the ecosystem that we have so that you can understand what are the islands of opportunity. Firstly, how are you going to become part of this ecosystem? And then what are the islands of opportunities for you? All right. So firstly, how are you going to become the part of this ecosystem? So here you have to create an online store. So I showed you an example. Similar to that, you have to create it for yourself. And then once it is properly set up, then you will be listed on Indian Business Portal. Obviously, you have to submit the request to list. It will not be automated listing. So you complete your store, submit the request, and I will walk you through that process as well. So that's where you are now on Indian Business Portal. Now, what are the islands of opportunities for you? So there are different opportunities which exist for you. The first one is Indian Business Portal itself. So Indian Business Portal is constantly being promoted by FIEO through various channels, through various government channels, and through digital mediums as well. And that's where international buyers are brought on to Indian Business Portal. And that's where, if your product exists, they are able to review and do business with you. At the same time, now you have your own independent online presence in form of an online store or a website. Now, using that website, you can also do digital promotions. You can run digital ads, you can run online ads, and you can attract the international buyers onto your own website and do the conversions there. So that is the second island of opportunity which exists for you. The third is you are becoming a part of a community which has members from 150 countries. So that's where you can do business networking with them and see if they have a requirement for your offering or they know someone who has a requirement for your offering. So that's how these are the different islands of opportunities. And obviously, when you're becoming part of the community, there are a lot of requirements that are being circulated, etc. So that's where that exposure is also there. You may be able to find the opportunity there as well. Towards the end of the webinar, I'm going to share with you a link of a WhatsApp group that we have created. The objective of that group is to provide quick assistance. So many of my colleagues are part of that group. You can join it, and if you need any help or assistance, you can drop a message and someone from our side will help you. And in that group also there is a lot of exchange keep happening, so that is also something that you may be interested in. Now, coming to Indian Business Portal, so this is the live Indian Business Portal which exists, which is there, and you all are requested to be part of Indian Business Portal as soon as possible. Now, before we understand how you are going to list or how you are going to create the right digital presence, let's understand how business actually happens, because I can imagine I've been on the other side, and I will be very, very curious to understand before we get into the listing nitty-gritty or how you're going to create the right digital presence. Before we go that far, you will be curious to understand how business is going to come, how dhanda is going to come. So that there are broadly two processes through which you will be getting action. The first action happens through this capability which you are seeing on the top of the screen, which is called post buying requirement. Now, this is not a capability that you will be using. This is a capability which is used by international buyers. So, using this capability, using this feature, they share their buying requirements. Now, those buying requirements are then scrutinized and evaluated, and there's a lot of due diligence that is done by the FIEO team. And once that is done, those evaluated requirements are displayed here. So this where you can see the different requirements are displayed. And now don't be disheartened that, oh, there are only 3 requirements. No, there are hundreds and hundreds of them. On this home screen, only 3 are displayed. So if you click on view all, then it will take you to this screen. Now, before I explain to you how you're going to submit the response to the requirement, let's understand how this entire process works. So I told you a little while ago that international buyers using the post buying requirement feature share their requirement, or sometime they approach or connect with FIEO officials directly, or they reach out to Indian embassies, and then Indian embassies pass on that requirement to FIEO. Then FIEO does a due diligence. So stage one is the international buyer approaching or sharing their requirement. Stage two is FIEO evaluating that requirement. Stage three is that requirement getting posted here. Now, once that requirement is posted here, you will get a email update because you are part of Indian Business Portal. I'm assuming that all of you will be part of Indian Business Portal. So once this requirement, new requirement, which is posted in stage three, you get an email update. Now, stage four, you come here and you respond to the RFQ, obviously after reviewing it. Now, stage five, all the responses are reviewed by FIEO team. They again put in effort to review. And why is it done? Because there are these elements who try to sabotage the process. So unpleasant things were added as responses, and unfortunately, this was slipped and created a negative impression in front of international buyer. So now, as a process, every response to every sentence is read and reviewed before it is shared with a international buyer. So that's where FIEO has to again put in a lot of effort to review those responses. And then once that review is done, then stage six is where those reviews are shared with international buyer for reviewing. So they'll share, they'll review all those responses. And in stage seven, they will then connect with the exporter to conclude the deal. Now, how does that connection happen? So, sometime, and that is kind of a very common practice as well, wherein they will come back to FIEO with a list of exporters, shortlisted exporters. They'll say, oh, these are the exporters that we have shortlisted. Kindly schedule meetings with them. And then FIEO will reach out to you to schedule a meeting. So, it will be a meeting coordinated by FIEO with you as well as the international buyer. So that is one of the approach which is commonly taken. Then the second approach is wherein they will directly reach out to you. So they would not want to bother FIO. They'll directly call you or email you that we have received your details and we would want to connect with you, meet you to discuss the details. So that is the second approach. The third approach is wherein they may share the list with FIO and then ask FIO to ask you to contact them and schedule a meeting with them. That also sometime happens. It is not that common. It sometime rarely happens, but that is also something which we have seen happens. So those are the 3 ways in which you can hear from international buyers. Now, overall, what are the timelines that we are looking at? So, overall, from the time you have submitted your response, you should consider 3 to 4 weeks because the inquiry remains open for about a week, and then another almost a week is spent on reviewing and scrutinizing the details. and then the international buyer also takes 1 or 2 weeks to review it and then get back. So on a broader scale, 3 to 4 weeks is something that you should assume. And I am deliberately sharing these details because this happens to be a very common question that we receive on our help desk, that we receive an email or call, and the person is complaining, okay, I have submitted a RFQ response, I haven't heard back. And then when we ask them that what has happened, when have you submitted the response, I have submitted it yesterday. So that's why I don't want you to again make that mistake and waste your precious time. So that's where be prepared to get a response after 3 to 4 weeks. All right. Now, submitting response is very, very simple and very easy. You can just click on the response and it will take you to the other screen. I think this is already closed. This is also submitted. Mukeshji, will you be able to?
Yes, yes, sir. I am checking it my end. In case possible, I will reopen it. Okay.
Okay, sure. Please see if we can open. Now, while Mukeshji is checking on enabling the form, let me share with you what are the two things that you should be careful of while submitting the response. The first one is to get a better clarity about the requirement of the buyer. We have seen that in the past when people have submitted the response, they were not very clear about the requirement. They just saw the picture and they saw the title of the requirement and they just went ahead and submitted the response. But when international buyers scheduled the meeting with them, that's where they realized they were not able to fulfill the requirement, and which is a very unpleasant thing for you, for international buyer, for FIEO, for everyone as such, right? So let's try to avoid those kind of scenarios. And for that, it is important that you are absolutely clear about the requirement. So for that, read the requirement. So once you'll click here, a next form will open up. On this form, there are details of the requirement. Read it. And still, if you have questions, please do reach out to the FIEO's team. I'll provide you the email ID. So reach out to them and get a better clarity and then submit the response. So that is one. Second is about your experience and your capabilities. So there are two questions in the form. Others are all the other questions or all the other fields are about information, your contact information, your licenses, etc. Right? So almost everyone will have that information. But the two questions, which is around your experience of exporting that particular product, and your capabilities, that is where again we have seen that exporters tend to shy adding details. And this is not exporters who don't have experience, the exporters who have been in the business for decades and decades, we have seen them not adding details there. They are just typing yes or yes, we have experience. Now that's where you have to be detailed in your response. You have to add as many details as possible so that, and that's where you don't have to add an essay, 1 or 2 paragraphs will suffice. But in those 1 or 2 paragraphs, you have to provide enough information to the international buyers so that they can make a decision
ऊपर गए
whether
हैं,
they,
डीजी सर पता नहीं.
sorry.
Hello, sir. You may open white rice. Already we have opened it. You
Okay,
please check.
sure. All right. So this is what I was referring to. Sorry, I have a bad throat. So this is what I was referring to, the information. So in addition to the, sorry, I closed the tab accidentally. So in addition to this information which is listed here, you should also read all this and get a better clarity about the requirement and then only proceed ahead to submit the response. Now, with respect to the fields or the forms, fields which are there, so you can see most of them are informational fields and does not require much of much of differentiation. Almost every one of us will have these information. Now, coming back here, this is where you have a question around the experience and you have a question about the capabilities. These are the two questions which require a detailed response. This is where you don't have to just type yes or no. You have to add details so that when international buyer is going through this information, they can make out their mind, okay, this looks. So this is almost as if you compare it to a conversation that you are having with the international buyer, wherein that person has asked you a question that why should we do business with you? What is your experience or what are your capabilities? And you'll be providing them a response. That's what you have to add here. All right. So this is this process. Then this is not the only process. This is one of the process. The second process is wherein the international buyer looks for or tries to identify the Indian exporter directly. How do they do that? So they can either use the navigation or they can use the search. And again, the search is customized to help the requirements of international buyers. So this is where you'll see they can search by product, they can search by the supplier name. So in case they know your name, so they can search by your name as well, or they can search by the ITCHS code. So all the options are available. All the capabilities which are required by the international buyers, they are all available and they can look for your product. So this is where let me try to open one of the products. So let's open this exporter's product. The exporter's name is Shift Textiles. So this is where they can come, they can see, okay, the products are looking nice, and let's see what else this exporter has. So they can go to the profile, and this is where the very first thing they see is the other products which are there from that particular exporter. So this is where imagine if I'm someone who has a boutique in Europe and I'm wanting to buy a few Indian ethnic wear products for my boutique. So I came here, like the product, and I can see what other products are there from this particular exporter. So I can review them as well. And once I've reviewed them, then I would be obviously hooked and I would want to understand more about this business before I take that decision. So that's where I will go to the About section. This is where you can see there's a lot of information available. About this business as well. So not just why they should be doing business, other details like what is the legal entity, where have they exported to, what is the turnover, etc. So all that information is available here. And there's also a certificate which is available. So I can review the certificate and I can understand that it is not only a good exporter, but a genuine one, a trustworthy one as well. A actual exporter, not just a hypothetical profile, right? So once I've satisfied all my doubts, all my questions, concern, then I can proceed ahead to connect with this exporter. Now, how will I do that? So that's where there are multiple options available to the international buyer. The most common one these days is the request meeting, which you are seeing here, request meeting. So using this feature, they will be able to send you a request that we would want to meet you at on this day at this time. Are you available? So that kind of capability is this. So using this, they are not scheduling, they are requesting a meeting with you. So that is this capability. Now, if I was in your place, I would be extremely excited, but at the same time, I'll be anxious that how will I know? So if there's a international buyer, let's say Mr. James, and Mr. James have scheduled a meeting or wants to have a meeting with me on Saturday, how will I know that Mr. James is wanting to have a meeting? So firstly, you will get a email notification from Indian Business Portal that there is this international buyer called Mr. James and he is wanting to have a meeting with you. So that's how you will be aware. But the counter question or the counter response is that what if I miss that email? I will miss a big opportunity. So to ensure that you don't miss out, we have also created this section, and we always advise that you or someone from your team should actively once in a day. It will hardly take 10 seconds, and you can do it from your smartphone as well. So just to overcome that anxiety, or if you have that feeling like I may miss out if the emails are sent, even if a notification email is sent, I may miss out on that. So that's where this is this section wherein you will see all the meetings which are proposed for today, all the meetings which are proposed for future. So all of them are listed here. This is a demonstration account, so that's why you are not seeing any meeting requests, but in your account you will see them, and you can also specify your availability, that you are available from Monday to Saturday or Sunday or Friday at this time and day, and based on that, then international buyer will be able to request a meeting with you. The second method is contact sellers, and using this method, international buyer will be asking to connect with you. They are sharing their contact details. So on the first method, they are actually requesting for a meeting. And in this method, they are sharing their contact details and asking you to connect back with them. So you'll get their name, email, contact number, company name, designation, country, all that information will be shared with you. Now, how will you get an update whenever someone has uh, used this contact seller feature? So you'll get an email update, and all these contact requests are again logged in the system. So if you go to this section, this is where you will see all the contact us messages. Again, this is a demonstration account, so that's why it is empty. But in your account, you will get all those details in that section. So again, even if you're missing out on the email, just have a look at that sections. And if there's someone who has responded, or if there's someone who's wanting to connect with you, you'll find the details there. So even if you accidentally miss out, that section is a backup where you'll find all the details. All right. So this is the second method using which they can connect with you. There is one more method which is also sometimes used, and that is visit store. So because they have access to your online store, and they will certainly be visiting your online store. So this is where, if you have shown your or displayed your contact details in form of your mobile number and email ID, they can also reach out to you directly. So that also happens sometimes, but mostly they prefer to have a meeting with you using the request meeting feature. So this is how the action is going to happen on Indian Business Portal. Now, let's quickly have a look at the process of becoming part of Indian Business Portal, and then we'll also understand how you are going to create or improve your visibility in front of international buyer, and what are the mistakes that you should ideally be trying not to do. All right. So let's understand firstly the process of listing your business on Indian Business Portal. All right. So for that, the very first thing that you have to do is to come to Indian Business Portal, and here you will see there's an option which says sell on Indian Business Portal, register as Indian exporter, and this is where you have to click, and it will take you to this page. On this page, you'll see there are two buttons which says create your catalog, create your catalog. So you can click on either one of them. You can click there or there, and it will take you to the next page. On this page, you will see there are fields to input your first name, last name, email ID, create a password, and click on agree and continue. Now, before you do that, I would strongly advise that you should be watching this video. If you don't have time, then please keep this video open on another browser tab. But if you have time, if you can spare about 20 odd minutes, then please do watch this video, because this video will help you understand the journey and what are the information requirements, so that you don't get stuck and you are able to do it the right way. So this is the video. We will just understand the rest of the journey using this video. We will not play this video. That will not be a very sensible use of your time. So we'll just quickly move through the video so that you can understand the steps. And this is not a very complex process, although many of you who are from non-technical background, you may be getting little anxious. Okay, he's expecting us to create a website on our own, but trust me, it is very simple and easy. All right, so this is where once you have entered your contact details, first name, last name, email ID, and password, click on agree and continue. In the next screen, you have to do the OTP verification of your mobile number, and then GST verification. After that, you have to input your company name, add the location, and then move to the next screen where you have to select a industry. Which industry do you belong? Now, again, merchant exporters sometime had asked me this, that we deal in multiple industries. So which one should we select? So the most dominant one, which is the major contributor to your revenue and turnover, that is what you should be selecting. Now, once you have done the industry selection, then you'll move to the next screen. This is where you have to select a activity, also whether you are exporter, manufacturer, retailer. So it's a multi-select. So if you're an exporter and a manufacturer, so you can select both the fields. Once you are done, it will bring you to this screen. Now, this is where again we have seen that many exporters have made this huge mistake, that they have closed this overlay and they have just simply added the products from here. You should not do that, because otherwise you are not going to be able to list the products on Indian Business Portal, which is the end objective. And many exporters do that. So please don't make that mistake. Don't close this overlay. On this overlay, there are three simple questions. What is the main purpose? How many products would you like to upload? And would you like to have the minimum order quantity feature or not? Click on next and it will take you to the next screen. This is where you'll see there are different design elements or design templates, not elements, different design templates which are showcased. You can choose any one of them as per your liking. And if you don't like them, tomorrow, if you have a different opinion that it is not looking nice, you can change it. You can change it very easily. All right. So that is something that you can do. Once you have selected a design template, then you'll move to the next screen. This is where you'll see the store name and URL. So store name is your business name, but if you want to create the store in the name of the brand, you can do that. If you operate a popular brand and you want to create the online store in name of that brand and not in the name of your business, you are allowed to do that. So first field is store name. The second field is the store URL. And this also happens to be a quite question magnet. So what is a URL? So URL is something that we type to open a website. So for example, to open Indian Business Portal, we type indianbusinessportal.in. Similarly, for opening Google, we type google.com. So what we are doing here, we are specifying what should someone be typing to open the website. Now, there can be two scenarios. Either you will have this kind of a 16-digit code, right? So how you are seeing here, or this field will be entirely empty. So this box will be empty. So whether you have a empty box or if there's a code, so if there's a code, delete it. And if the box is empty, then well and good. Just type your business name without space or any special character. So this is where you can see no space, no special character is there, right? So you have to just ensure that all the numbers and all the alphabets are allowed, but other than those, so all numbers and all alphabets, that's it. Nothing else is allowed. And the maximum width or length is 25 characters. So if you have a really long business names, in that case, obviously you'll have to do a little bit of editing with that. But if your desire is to take your website live on your own domain, you can certainly do that. So I showed you few examples earlier today, wherein I was showing you. So this is live on their own domain. This is also live on their own domain. This is also live on their own domain. So if you want to take it live on your domain, you can certainly do that. However, if you want to continue using linker.store, so like here you can see, and I'm not sure how big it is on your screen and how visible or legible it is, but this is where this business is using linker.store subdomain. So we are providing our subdomain to you absolutely free of cost. And if you want to continue using it, you are more than welcome to do that. But if you want to take it live on your own domain, then you can also do that very, very easily. All right. So that is the last step. You have to click on create the store, and then this page will open up, and all of a sudden there are so many options on the left side of the screen. Don't get intimidated by that. They are all very simple to use. Now, as part of the next step, you have to click on this button which says store setup. On this button, you have to click. And once you click on it, it will open this page. On this page, you will see there are information fields where you have to fill in the information. Now, a lot of time people have asked me that we have the product data available in an Excel file. Can we upload it? Yes, you can do that. And how you are going to upload, that is also explained in the video. The entire product upload journey is explained in this video in great detail, so I'm not going to take your time explaining that. There are just two fields which I would want to explain. The first one is GI product, which you are seeing on here, the top of the screen. So GI products are geographic indication, or these are the specialty agriculture, foodstuff, handicraft, manufacturing, etc., etc. So, and they are from a particular location. So, for example, Varanasi, which is very popular for Banarsi sari, they're also popular for wooden lacquer toys. So, let me just quickly show you one of the products. So, this is a wooden sindoor box, and here You can see there's a GI product emblem here. I'm not sure how big it is on your screen, but here you can see that it is very clear. This is GI product and it is Varanasi wooden lacquer ware toy. So this is how they are highlighted. So if you are dealing in a GI product, then toggle that option and then select the GI category and then select the subcategory and then upload the GI certificate. Yes, without uploading the GI certificate, you cannot specify your product or highlight your product as a GI product. All right. So that is one. The second point I wanted to highlight to you is the category mapping. So this is where you can see there are two drop downs, category and subcategory. What are these for? So if we very quickly go back to Indian Mills portal, and this is where I showed you there is a very extensive navigation. This is what we call navigation. So it is very extensive. You will not believe it has more than 4,500 categories and subcategories. So here, imagine that you are, let's say, a honey exporter. So it is your responsibility, not responsibility, it is your duty that your products are listed here on this page. Because if there's someone who's wanting to import honey, they'll come here, right? So that is why you have to use these drop downs to tell the system that this is the place my product should be placed, right? So this is like in a supermarket space, you're wanting to sell oranges. So obviously you'll put oranges along with the fruits. You'll not put oranges in the pulses section or edible oil section because no one will be going to edible oil section to buy oranges, right? They'll be going to the fruit section. So similarly, you have to ensure that your products are at the right place, and that's where you have to use these drop downs, select the category and select the subcategory. Now, despite the fact that these navigations are very extensive, time and again we keep getting requests from participants that our category doesn't exist, and that's where you all are also welcome to share recommendations that if you feel your category doesn't exist, please do let us know. We'll review it and we'll be more than happy to add it. There's a slightly long process, so it will not happen instantaneously that you submit the request and then it gets added, because there's a tech process also involved. But we try to add it as soon as possible. All right. So please do let us know if you feel the category is not present there. A lot of time you're not able to figure out. But if we feel, yes, that category doesn't exist, we'll be more than happy to also add it. All right. So this is related to the category mapping. Now, rest of the process is explained in this video in great detail. So let's not spend your valuable time going through it. I'll just skip all of that and we are going to go to the end of this video. So this is where we have uploaded one product. One product is bare minimum that you need to add. Once you have done that, then you will see there's a home shaped icon. You have to click on it, which will bring you to this page. On this page, you'll see there's a big gray color button which says unpublished. This is the button I'm referring to. You have to click on it. And the moment you'll click on it, all of a sudden, magically, the confetti will start falling on your screen and you'll see a congratulatory message that you have completed the journey. So this is how you have to set up the online store, but this is where your work is not over. Don't celebrate yet because there are more actions required from your side. So the immediate next step that you have to do is you have to go to the product section and upload the remaining products. If you don't have a large catalog, if you have less than 10 products, you can upload them one by one using this option. If you have to upload more than 10 products, then I would recommend that you should not be doing wasting your own time, and you should use the bulk upload process, and you'll be able to upload thousands of products in matter of minutes. So upload the products. Once you are done with the product upload, that's where you have to work on the beautification of your online stores, and that's where you can go to the theme section, apply the theme, and then you can go to the navigation section. So navigation is basically used for creating the navigations on your website. And if I can explain that with an example, let's use this example. They have very uh, elaborate navigation. I think I will have to reload the page to show you that. Yeah. So this is where you have sportswear. So that is level 1. And then you have men, which is level 2. Then you have t-shirt, which is level 3. And then you have level 4. So these menu items that you see on the website, these are called navigation, and they can be across 4 levels. So it is very important not just to create these because a lot of time when I go through the websites and I'm seeing websites, not the online stores. On the online store, also I've seen that, but even on the exporters, their own websites, they have very thin or very basic rudimentary navigation, right? So about us and our products. Now, why don't you help your customers in easily discovering you? So if there's a use case, why don't you create a navigation around that so that the customers can easily identify? So, for example, you deal in product. Let's say you are toiletries manufacturer, you are toiletries exporter, and there are hoteliers who may want to buy from you, right? So create a navigation products for hoteliers and show the same product. Now, I can imagine that you're not able to understand what I'm saying. So let me try to show you with an example. So this is a natural beauty product example I showed you earlier also, right? Now here, the rudimentary or the traditional way is that you are showing the product by the type of the product, right? Face wash, face serum, etc., etc. Now we can help our customers. Let's show them by concern also. So if there's someone who's suffering from acne or there's someone who's suffering from dryness, they can simply come here and they can see which are the products they can consider if they have dryness, right? So this is where we are solving the customer. Now this is a obviously a B2C example, but you should also think of it from B2B perspective. B2B buyers are also human beings and they also have limited time. Why don't you help them? And creating these additional navigations will also give you visibility on the internet because these are category pages which are separately indexed, right? So it will also improve your visibility, and this goes to the enhancing visibility. All right. So please do set up the navigation. All right. Once you have set up the navigation, then you can go to store preview and you can upload the banners, etc. I'm not showing that for the benefit of time. Once you are done with the setup, your online store is looking nicely. Then you should come here. This is where you'll see Indian Business Portal. Click on that and it will open this page. On this page, you'll see there's a form and which looks little intimidating as well. This looks like little long form, but it is very, very simple to fill. So this where you have to just specify whether you're a FIEO member or not. You have to input your IC code, verify it, and then what is the legal entity type? When did you start your business? What type of exporter you are? You're a merchant exporter, manufacturer exporter, or both. You can select multiple. Are you MSME? You have to select yes, no. What is the export turnover? Now, this where if you're a startup, you can select less than $10,000 as well. And then what are the countries you have exported to? If you haven't exported, you can leave it blank countries you would like to export to. What is the employee count? And the most important ones, which is the licenses certification. So as many licenses certification you can upload here. There's no limit to it. And then you have advantages in innovation. So this is where, again, you have to explain why should someone do business with you. And then you have types of proposals you are interested in. And you can select again multiple options and then click on save. Once you do that, it will take you to stage number two. And I will just quickly show you what is stage number two. So in stage number two, you will have this form. Now it has two parts, one which shows do's and don'ts. So please do review these do's and don'ts. But most importantly, watch this video. In this video, we have explained what are the mistakes that can prevent your business from being showcased on Indian Business Portal and how to fix them as well. So please do watch this video. And once you have watched this video and once you are absolutely sure that there are no issues, then you should just agree to the terms and click on submit. Once you have submitted the request, it will be reviewed by our operations team, which will take about 2 to 3 working days. And then, if everything is in order, your business will be listed on Indian Business Portal. And if there's an issue, if there's a mistake, then they will reject your request and you'll have to fix it and then submit the request back again. So that's how you will be able to list your business on Indian Business Portal. Now, coming to the right visibility discussion, and this is something which I've kept for the end. So we will start from the online store and we'll just use this interface, or let's use the front end interface to understand, because many of you haven't created the online store. So you'll find it a little confusing there. So let's take this online store as an example. So what are the things that you have to be cautious of? So we'll go to the product part later. Firstly, the business information. And this is a very common mistake that I have seen exporters make, that they don't add information pages, which basically means telling people or telling the visitors of your websites, which as per your desire, are international buyers. You're not telling them who you are, what is your business, what is your background, what are the achievements you have done. You're not telling them anything, right? So you have to create these kind of 4 5 pages wherein you are adding all that information. That is a very big mistake that we have seen. And try to get it designed something like this, so that it is attractive. Otherwise, text looks very monotonous. If all this was just in form of a text, it would look very monotonous. But if it is properly designed, despite the fact that it is text, it is looking so attractive and so nice and so easy to read. The second is credibility, not adding certificates. Now, this is one way of displaying that. You can even create a dedicated pages for the certifications, but please do add them so that there's a level of credibility and trust. So that is the business information side. Now coming to the product side of it. So one suggestion I've already shared, that try to think that how your potential buyers may be looking for the information, and then if required, then have hybrid or matrix navigation, which is the same product can be seen from this way or that way, right? So it is like there are 2 different routes, or there are 3 different routes. They're seeing the same product, but you're taking a different route. You're approaching it from a different angle. So you can do that. This is a conventional way, and you can add multiple that will enhance the visibility, as well as it will make it easier for the potential buyer. And that's where it shows you as a professional organization who have thought that far. All right. So that is related to product categorization. Whenever you're creating the categories, if it is a category which has a lot of product, try to see if adding filters will help them. So if there are sometimes filters which you can add here, which can help them easily navigate, please do that. Then with respect to the products, try to have detailed product content. Now here, this is summary content and this is the long description. So the summary description should be in a particular structure. If you're adding long paragraphs there, this is where you're defeating the purpose, because summary description by default is summary, right? So that's the intent. That's why it is called summary. So it has to be one paragraph followed by bullet points so that it is easier. So just take Amazon as an example. You go to Amazon, and that's where the product details, there are bullet points, or there are very small paragraphs. So if you're reviewing it, it is very easy for you. You don't have to treat it as a reading exercise, right? That's what you also have to do. You have to make the life of your buyer easy. So that's where you have to add it like this, and then the details can be added here. And when it comes to details, that's where you can go details. You can add visuals, you can add videos also. So you can add video here or there, but you can go in lot of details to help the customer. And if this kind of approach is required, because it is a technical product, so it is difficult for anyone to comprehend and understand it. So that's where they have added video also explaining how the product works. Makes it easier for the potential buyer to review and make the decision. All right. So that is there for the products. Now, in addition to products, what else is required? So visually, if these banners are missing, it will show your website as a work in progress. And obviously, people will go away, because I showed you, if I go back to that tab, I showed you, and I think we were where? Let's go to this businesses profile. There's a visit store. So they will click on it. Indian international buyers will click on it. And if it is looking like a work in progress or incomplete store, obviously it is not giving you a right representation in front of international buyers, and they will obviously decide not to proceed ahead with contacting you. Right? So you're losing out on that. So please ensure that at least the bare minimum banners are uploaded. Then coming to the footer part of it. So this and all the banners should be linked. So don't just add banners visually. They all should be clickable and they should be taking a potential buyer to some place. Your address should be properly updated. Previously, I was reviewing one of the exporters online store and I realized they had added mistakenly, they had added Afghanistan as the location. And that would obviously impact your visibility. Your contact details are properly visible. If you have added the social channels, they are all properly visible. Your contact information pages are visible. Policies, because you are not doing add to cart. So if you are just receiving inquiries, in that case, terms and condition and privacy policy should be enabled on your online store. If this is not enabled, then you are in violation because it is required by the law to be there because you're registering user. If you're accepting payments and orders, then shipping and return refund policies are also required to be there on your website. All right. The next is not utilizing blogs. Blogs is a very, very useful feature these days. So if you're not utilizing this, where I'm just showing you, this is a business which actively posts blogs. So this is where you can see there are different blog articles that they have added, and we can go and we can review it, or we can go to their page and we can see that. So at one end, it is providing a lot of information, useful information to their potential buyers, and it is also helping with the search, and you can redirect buyers from blogs to the product page as well. So that is something important that a lot of people miss out. Now, one thing, little technical, but it is extremely important. That is metadata, and I've seen almost every other exporter when I review their website, they have missed adding that. So meta is something which is added across each and every page which is there on your website. So whether it is a product, so adding the meta to the products is relatively easy. You can add that in bulk using this. If you have to add it manually, just click on edit, and this is where you'll see meta title and meta description. Meta keyword is optional. If you want to add, you can do that. But meta title and meta descriptions are extremely important. And meta title and description, if you have to understand, so if you search on Google, the top text which appears in blue, that is the meta title, and the description which appears at the bottom, that's the meta description. So it is displayed there, and it is also used for indexing. So it is very, very crucial to add it up appropriately. Now, obviously, you must be thinking that I'm not an expert in digital marketing. So how will I add it? No, you don't have to be. You have AI. Just ask AI, give the reference of the page or give the content of the page, and it will create a meta title and meta description for you. In one of the webinars, I've explained how you can do that. I'll try to share the link of that webinar as well, how you can use AI for creating this information. All right, so that is for the product. Sorry, for the product. Now, product is one part, and this is something sometimes people do, but there are other pages. So, for example, if we are going to navigation, each category has its own meta. So, this is where, if you click on advanced, this is where you have meta title and description, right? So, this has to be updated. Now, this is one. Then you have the online store itself, your home page. It also requires a meta title and description, and which is in store details. So this is where you have to come and you have to add meta title and description. Now, if you're adding blog articles or pages, they also have the same thing. So if you have pages, then if you go to pages, each page will have fields for adding meta title and description. And if you meta title and description, so please do add that. And if you are confused, just seek AI's help. I think my internet connection is troubling now. So let's try to open it here. Yes, here. So if you click on add blog, here again, you have meta title and meta description. So please do add that. And if you haven't added them, please do add them now so that the website gets properly indexed. Now, there is this website you may have heard of. It is called Google Search Console. Now, all of you are required to sign up on this Google Search Console. If you have a Gmail ID, you can easily sign up on this. There's a Google Search Console. Sign up on this and then link your website. Linking is very simple. You can do that from here. So if you go to store settings, and this is where you have SEO site verification. So it will give you a code. You can come and you can put the code here. You have to just put the code, not the entire thing, just the code, and then click on save and the site will get verified. Once you are done, then you have to also add the site maps. How do you add the site maps? So for that, after your URL, you have to add robots.txt, and which will open this page. And here you will see the site maps. So there are 3 site maps. One is for products, second is for blog, and third is for pages. All 3 site maps are to be added to the Google Search Console, and that will ensure that your websites and the pages that you have added. And this is one-time exercise. It is not like every time you're adding a product, you have to update the sitemap. It happens automatically, but for once you have to do this activity. Now, before I stop talking, there is one very important aspect that I wanted to share with you. And this is something which I was just going through the Indian Business Portal and I saw these products. So I just sort of highlighting. Now here you have a product and just ignore the exporter. I'm not trying to highlight that this he has done or she has done a mistake. But if you're looking at this product, can you identify what is the mistake? And this goes back to a very fundamental point which I shared earlier today. There's another product which has the same mistake. Let me know in the chat, what is the mistake here? No, price is not the mistake. Any guesses from any other participant? No, HS code as summary is not. Okay, not the title. Okay, I'll tell you. Let's not, because we have overshot our time. So very early on, when I was showing you an example and I told you why an online store is required wherein you independent products are added, because you get visibility. This is where you have sports goods and toys. So all these are independent products which need to be uploaded individually. So this is one product, this is one product, right? So upload them individually. That will give you a lot of visibility. Yes, it is an effort, but this is where you are shooting yourself in your foot if you are adding a product like this. And similarly here, vegetables, no one is going to search for a vegetable. They'll be searching for a sweet potato, they'll be searching for brinjal, they'll be searching for ladyfinger, they'll not be searching for vegetables, right? So this is where, again, you have to upload the products individually. That is the mistake which I wanted to highlight. There's another example I just came across. This is a product, black pepper. Again, this one sentence as product description, this will not get you anywhere, to be honest, if you are adding products like this. So just be little cautious or little diligent when you're adding all these details. All right, perfect. So this is where I'll turn off the screen share. I know I am also getting this alert. My internet speed, although I have a high speed network, but it is troubling at this moment. Zoom is also giving me those alerts that your internet is slow. That's why my screen was appearing a little blurred. All right. So apologies on that. Now we'll break into the question answer round. And if you have already not added your question, please do add your question. In the interim, I'll just take a quick second because I did mention to you that I'll be sharing contact details, etc. So I will very quickly take those out and add it in the chat. Just a quick second for that. And if you like see me, or if you are seeing me looking to the side, that's where I'm just looking at the other monitor. So I am going to share the link of the recording of today's webinar along with few other tutorials. So let me just take out the link and share it with you in the chat. Now, in one of our previous session that we have seen that the participants who are joining through their smartphones, etc., they're not able to copy the links. So if you also happen to have the same problem, then drop me an email. I'll share my contact details. So drop me an email. I will share these with you personally, or after this webinar, we will be sending you the recording of the webinar through a system email. So you will receive that. All right. So I have accidentally, no, I've sent it to everyone. Wonderful. So I have shared the webinar recording and the other tutorial as well. Now I am going to share my contact details. And I am going to share now I'm going to share the contact details of our help desk. And I did mention to you there's a WhatsApp group. So I'm sharing the link of the WhatsApp group as well. All right. So perfect. I've shared everything in the chat. You have the support WhatsApp group link. I recommend or suggest all of you please do join that group. And then I have shared with you the contact details of our help desk. So if you find any issues or if you encounter any issues, please do feel free to reach out to our help desk. I've also shared my email ID with you. Please do feel free to reach out to me as well. And then I've shared the links of few tutorials along with the link of today's webinar's recording. All right, so I've shared all that. Now we'll quickly look into the questions that we have. So the first question was asked very early on, and that's where we went little detail. So this anonymous attendee, they are joining us for the very first time. So that's why I went in little extra detail so that they can understand everything. So I hope anonymous attendee, you were able to understand and you found the session informative. Next question is from Anant, and his question is for B2B contract manufacturing. Yes, you can do that. There are so many exporters who do this. So yes, certainly you can do that. In fact, if you recall, I was showing you a form wherein the last part of the form, it was written what type of proposals you are interested in. And contract manufacturing is one of the options there as well. Yes, certainly you can list your offerings. And in case you're having any difficulty, please do feel free to reach out to us. We have a team because this is where we understand that being an entrepreneur is a task in itself. There are so many things that you're managing on a day-to-day basis, and it is extremely difficult for you to learn and then create it on your own. If you have time, if you have energy, you should do that. But if you need help, then it is also available. It is a paid service, one-time paid service, which is available, and you can take that service, and our team of professionals will set up the store for you. Uh, the price of that service is 20,000 one time, and wherein the entire end-to-end setup will be done by our team. So if you're interested, uh, drop me an email. You have my email ID. Drop me an email, and I'll share the required details with you. All right, so let's move to the next question. Next question is from Sangeeta, and her question is about they have created their product catalog and it is not showing on Indian Business Portal. So, GlobalLinker and Indian Business Portal, they are two separate platforms or from the same organization. So, the backend technology is ours, but the intent of Indian Business Portal is for export. So the traffic or the potential buyer which is coming to Indian Business Portal, they are mostly exporter, whereas GlobalLinker is a B2B. marketplace, cross-border marketplace. So wherein you have domestic B2B as well as international B2B happening. So both the platforms are there. Now, when you have listed your products on GlobalLinker, by default, they get listed on GlobalLinker if they are meeting the criteria. On Indian Business Portal, you have to submit the request. So I showed in the webinar how you have to submit the request. So you submit the request, and your products will start appearing on Indian Business Portal. So if you are an exporter, you should be at both the places. Next question is a comment that my screen was stuck. Thank you. I was aware because Zoom was also updating me, but that was because of the internet connection and that was beyond my control. So apologies for that. All right. So next question was slightly longer. So I was just reading it, and the question is related to buyer authentication. Now, the buyers who are signing up on Indian Business Portal, they go through a basic due diligence or verification process, but we strongly recommend that you should do your due diligence before getting into any business transaction. And very often we have these exporters who reach out to us and they need help. So if you are also experiencing that kind of scenario and you need help, please do feel free to reach out. You have FIEO, and the email ID is ibp@fio.org. Please do reach out and they will guide you how to verify, or you can take help of external agencies or third party services which can do the verification for you. Next question is from Mr. Sadik, and his question is, if I don't have an IEC code, can I export? You can't list on Indian Business Portal. Can you? And I don't think you'll be able to export. Mukesh ji, will he be able to export without an IEC
No,
code?
sir, without IC, neither he can export nor import any product. It's mean IC is mandatory. Okay, for
Wonderful.
export import.
So, Mr. Sadik, you have your answer. IEC is mandatory, and even for listing on Indian Business Portal, you can create your online store. If you want to sign up, you can do that, but you will not be able to, or you will not be allowed to showcase your offering on Indian Business Portal. Next question is from Kapil, and his question is the online store free or there's a tiered pricing? So, Kapil, it is a freemium model. So, where the base offering is free and there are premium features. So, if you want to avail the premium feature, that's where you'll have to upgrade. Otherwise, the base solution, which will allow you to list on Indian Business Portal, that is obviously free. Next question is from Anand. So Anand, I can't share them publicly because those are not our intellectual properties. But if you reach out to me or the email, I can share them with you in person. That's what I can do. So I've shared my email ID in the chat. Drop me an email and I'll share the references with you. Next question is from Ashaji, and so Ashaji, very simply, there's this video which I referred to, which is around ensuring that your store does not have mistakes. So review that video. That will help you understand what are the mistakes, etc., which are there. Secondly, you can share the link of your online store with us. You can either email it directly to me or you can email it to our help desk. And we will review it and we'll share our recommendations with you, like what are the areas of improvement. And we are parallelly working on an AI solution which will be available soon on the platform, and that will flag to you that these are the issues which needs fixing or where you are lacking in terms of visibility. So that is something which is work in progress. So very soon it will be available, but till that AI solution is rolled out, Till that time, you can reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to review your online store and share the recommendations for improvement. Next question is Nitin G's question, and I've already answered that question, but I'm just repeating it for Nitin G's reference. So, Nitin G, yes, I understand that creating a good online store that can serve you properly is difficult because it requires a lot of learning. And as an entrepreneur, I totally understand it is difficult to spend that amount of time. So that's where the service is available. You can consider subscribing that service, and our team will do the entire setup for you. Next question, anonymous attendee. I have completed my profile 96%. Please, so you'll have to share your profile with me. Drop me an email with your profile's link. I'll review it and I'll share the recommendations, what else you should be doing. Next question, Bipinji, will we get the recording? Yes, you will get. In fact, and in the chat, I have shared the link of the recording and it will also be emailed to you. Next question is from Chirag ji. So the same question again, which I answered for Nitin ji. Yes, Chirag ji, there's a service which is available. You can subscribe to that, and our team will set up the store for you. Next question is from Archana ji, and Mukesh ji, I'll need your help to answer that. Her question is, can we collaborate with Indian embassies and trade promotion councils abroad to promote our business?
Sir, we are doing same kind of activity, okay, and Indian Embassy also sending support that requirement from different country, and we are also posting same requirement at Indian Business Portal.
Absolutely. So, Archana ji, Indian Business Portal and FIEO team is already doing that. So, I think it is important that you list and become part of Indian Business Portal as soon as possible. Next question, anonymous attendee, own website or with GlobalLinker? Even with GlobalLinker, it is your website. It is your own website. In both the cases, it is own website. Next question, Mukesh ji, again, I'll need your help. The question is FIEO RCMC alone sufficient for the following products: wood, metal, ceramic, handicraft, jute product, handmade, paper product, furniture, imitation jewelry, carpets, jute products?
Yes, sir. Few only few deals in multi-product. Whatever sector he have mentioned, each and every sector will cover under few RCMC.
Okay,
Okay,
sure,
at least two sector maximum depend on him. How many sector he want to put in RCMC certificate.
sure. Next question is from Umaji, and the question is, uh, will when we join as a member only when we'll get the leads, or if we are just joining as an exporter, will we get the leads? So irrespective whether you are a FIEO member or not, this is an open playing field. Yes, FIEO members carry additional authentication, so they have PO registered tag, and they also have a higher placement on this category listing, but the visibility is open. So even if you are not a member, still you'll get the leads, right? So that is Umaji's question. Certain questions are repeated, so I'm just skipping them. Uh, Next question we would like to take is from Shreya. And the question is they want to start export of pulses and spices and wants to understand what certification or licenses are required for exporting these products. Mukeshji, would you like to answer that question?
Yes, sir. It is my request to madam. Please drop one mail to us, and
Mhm.
suppose that our team will check. Suppose that where suppose that he interested to export products, he is interested to export product. Accordingly, our team will reply to her. Okay, because we don't
Sure,
know where he is exporting. She is exporting country name.
sure.
Just let us know. Then we can check and inform to him.
Next question I can see is from Pushparaj. He's wanting to connect with Ayurvedic product suppliers. So, Pushparajji, drop me an email. What is your requirement? And I'll see if I can connect you with the suppliers. Next question is from Neelamaji. So, Neelamaji, for inquiring about RFQ, I have shared an email ID in the chat, ibp@fio.org. Give the reference of the RFQ and send an email, and FIO's team can check and get back to you. Anonymous attendee, they have faced some issue in attending a fair. So, as a merchant exporter, and there are many, many merchant exporters who have, in fact, I've shown an example also. I'm not sure if you were there when I started the presentation. So that's where I showed a merchant exporter's online store. You can certainly list your offerings on Indian Business Portal. That is something you can do. All right. The last question I would like to take because we have overshot our time by half an hour, and Mukeshji also have to leave. So that is around payments. So payment, if you are into B2C, where selling to retail customers, so then there are payment gateways which are integrated with the platform, Indian as well as international, like PayPal. So you can use them to receive the payment. If you are into B2B, then that transaction is handled between you and the international buyer. So that's where you are mutually deciding how the payment settlement will happen. All right, so this is where we will be now concluding this session. If you still have any queries or if you want to discuss it further, please do feel free to reach out to us. We have already shared our contact details in the chat. So please do reach out to us, and I look forward to having all of you on Indian Business Portal, listed on Indian Business Portal and in the right way. Perfect. So this is where we will conclude the webinar for today. Thank you, every one of you, for
Thank you,
taking
sir.
out your time and
Thank you,
being
sir.
present in the webinar.